My husband was bleeding out on the concrete behind a movie theater, and I had no idea he'd been shot until I saw the trail of blood leading back to the door. We were newlyweds. It was supposed to be a regular Friday night. New Batman movie, popcorn, friends, normal. 20 minutes in, a loud bang exploded from the left side of the theater. I flinched, thought it was a cherry bomb or something. Then a weird smell hit the air, like fireworks. And then I saw a dark silhouette down near the movie screen, just a black shape against the bright light with flashing coming off of it. I froze completely. Couldn't think, couldn't move, couldn't process what I was seeing. My husband Brock figured it out in seconds. He grabbed me, yanked me to the floor, and threw his entire body on top of mine. That's when sound came back. Gunshots, screaming, and the movie still playing over all of it. Complete chaos. I was lying face up staring at the ceiling while lights from the screen danced across it like nothing was wrong. Shrapnel hit my head and sliced off a chunk of my hair. I reached up to check for blood and hot pieces of metal fell into my hand. The tear gas was so thick I couldn't stop coughing, couldn't see, and underneath all of it was another smell. Metallic, heavy. I didn't want to know what it was. My friend Leo's legs were sticking out into the aisle because there wasn't enough room to hide. Samantha's water bottle exploded and splashed water across my face. Our popcorn was scattered across the floor like confetti. Then I noticed my lower body felt wet. I thought it was the water bottle. I was wrong. Then everything went quiet. The shooting stopped. Tommy shouted, "Let's go, right now." We ran, straight down the stairs, across the front of the screen, toward a green exit sign. We crammed into this tiny dark doorway space, completely blind from the gas, slamming our hands against the walls trying to find the handle. My hands found metal. I pushed with everything I had. The door flew open. We all fell onto the concrete outside. I scrambled to my feet and ran. And that's when I looked down and saw that my legs were completely soaked in dark red blood. I checked myself everywhere. No wounds, nothing. I turned around. Brock was behind me being carried by Leo and some teenager I had never seen before in my life, because my husband, who I thought was right on my heels, had been shot through the leg. A massive wound had torn through the lower half of his right leg. His foot was barely attached. It was just dangling. He had walked out of that theater on his own, carried himself through the dark, never said a word, never slowed me down. I screamed so loud that construction workers nearby came running. They helped carry him to the corner of the building, and then Brock just collapsed, said he couldn't go anymore. He laid down on the sidewalk and a puddle of blood spread out beneath him. I looked back and saw the trail of red he had left from the exit door all the way to where we were standing. I took off my shirt and pressed it against his leg. His leg felt limp and heavy in my hands in a way I can't describe. I remember thinking that must be what it feels like to hold something that has no life left in it. Tommy had been hit in the knee and the hip. The teenager who helped carry Brock, his mom was sitting against the wall bleeding from multiple places. That whole family had escaped at the same moment we did. The shooting was still happening inside. Police arrived fast. A female officer stayed right beside us, but the ambulance took forever. Brock bled on that sidewalk for nearly 20 minutes before one showed up. He survived. 12 people didn't. Over 70 were injured. The little girl who had been sitting in my row didn't make it. She was 5 years old with Down syndrome and blonde hair. She was hit multiple times. A police officer sobbed on the stand during the trial because he had carried her out himself trying to save her and couldn't. She was just a few feet away from us the whole time. Brock put his body over mine without a second thought. He never told me he'd been shot because he didn't want me to panic. He just quietly bled and made sure I got out. I don't know how to explain what it means to be loved like that. I really don't.